Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but that
so
was a good one. Rocksteady Anniversary
yeah,
was a good one.
Rocksteady. Um, just also let's talk a little bit about graph and writing. As it go, as you said, it's kind of parallel to your dancing, and when it came to that, what did you have anybody that was sort of mentoring you as far as writing, showing you the styles, techniques? What was that whole journey like?
Yeah, not until later. I got little gems during the path.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only person that really sat down and put some time into what I was doing was Mr. Wiggles, but that was later. You
Okay.
know, the first rider I met was Kel First.
Okay.
Um, and I met him because he was dating a woman that was going to that hair salon that I
Oh,
danced
okay.
at,
Okay.
because I ended up working there.
Okay.
So my
Gotcha.
work study program during my senior year in high school, I worked at the hair salon. Eddie was signing off on my papers. I brought him to school, so I would go like take class half day and then go hang out at the salon. I basically just answered phone calls, and he let me wash all the ladies' hair in the back. It was dope.
Mm.
Some lady would walk in, he'd be like, "Tony." Like, I have the apron. I put the apron on. I'm like, "Let's go," massaging their hair and everything. It was funny. And then we got to practice in there later on. We just moved the chairs out
Okay.
and get down at night, But yeah, so I met Kel first through that whole situation at the salon, and I remember talking to him one day. And at that time, as I mentioned earlier, I was like taking apart shit, right?
Mhm.
So when home computers started becoming a thing, I was super curious at that stuff because I was like, oh shit, I was like already into tech, right?
Right.
So I think I was using Corel Draw at that
Mhm.
time.
Okay.
Real basic shit, just trying to draw on the computer, do digital stuff. And at that time, Kel was working on a website called voiceoftheghetto.com.
Mm.
So this is like early on.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Even when he said website, I was like, what's that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't like even hip on the terminology of what he was talking about. But he's seen like this young kid already starting to make digital artwork. Like he was tripping. So he was like, dude, you got to come check this out, what I'm doing. I started working on early button designs for the voiceoftheghetto.com website. So
Okay.
he took me in the city, I think about 2 times. Um, and I think I was in the Frank 151 office at one point. Shit that I had no clue what was going on. I was just there. I'm
Right.
like
Right.
16, 17. I have no idea what's happening, but I'm getting exposed to all this stuff. So he's the first person I met, or first writer that I met. The second one would be Resk. Resk was a writer from Rock with Finesse, that breaking crew I was telling you about. He was pretty much the leader. He was the visionary that put that crew together. He
Okay.
was a popper and he was a writer.
Okay.
Also, the first dude I seen hit a chair freeze, and I was bugging when he did that shit in front of me. Um, yeah, so Resk, Kel first. Then later on, I start meeting other writers. I met Bomb 5 at the Rocksteady anniversary.
Okay.
Um, and I'm naming specific people who like gave me gems, right? These
Hmm.
I always remember them because they were like, even if it was for a second, yo, try this, do this, like, or
Right.
I'm just watching them do their own pieces in the black book, and I'm getting knowledge from them right there, right?
Mhm.
Um, then Fable,
Okay.
you know, also known as Pacer.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then eventually Wigs. So for a minute, I was touring with Wigs. Now, again, this is later. This is around '07 to 2011 or 12. We doing workshops and stuff together, and like we'd be on the train, and we just doing pieces on the train. And that's when he started giving me like some real game. Like, okay, look, this is what this is. This is what that is. And around that time, I got real heavy into stuff. So I was like researching Ramel Z and, Mayor 139. I finally met him, who was Kel First's brother, younger brother, which I found out. I said, oh shit.
Oh wow. Okay.
And also Mayor and Kel, I mean, Kel showed me at his crib once, like the old belt buckles and stuff he used to make. They were already bending metal at that time. Like this is late 70s, 80s. They were doing that kind of stuff, him and Mayor.
Wait. At that time, they were making their own like the
They were
name
doing
belt
that shit before a lot of people, man. They were making sculptures. Like they tell me like the earliest like graffiti sculpture they saw was done by Phase 2, right? They
Wow.
told me that.
Okay.
But then they were doing all that kind of stuff. If you see the stuff Mayor was doing like before, and he still has a lot of this shit in the warehouse. Like he just had like these arrows that he would bend with like thin metal, and he made a sculpture. And like I think they were way ahead of the game, you know. So
I
all the
didn't
stuff that
really.
I'm doing now,
Yeah.
that's from seeing them 20 years ago.
Wow.
You know,
I didn't realize Mayor was. I thought Mayor kind of, gradually moved into the sculpture